everybody, it's Coffee Morning with Carlos Morel, where I talk about a game based on top secret criteria whilst drinking my morning coffee until my cup is dry. And today we're going to be playing 1982, an indie 2D shooter from Binary Zoo that was released on the 28th of June 2017. Whilst I'm sure that some good things happened in 1982, it wasn't really one of the more memorable years unless you're a big fan of the Falklands War and computer viruses. Gaming back then was a simple affair, with chunky sprites and bleepy bloopy noises. Qbert appeared and stunk out the place with his shitty jumping game, which inexplicably some people still play and rate today. We Donkey Konged and jousted and Robotroned and raced for pole position, and some truly unfortunate souls wondered what the Jeezum Crow was going on in that E.T. game on their Atari. But for many people, video games were something that happened to kids and sweaty nerds in smoky arcades. Got a bit cooler when Tron came out though. All that neon and skin-tight bodysuits. Revolutionary stuff. Mind you, I don't remember any of that because I was 2 years old, and my two main interests at that age were Ice Cream and Give It To Me. When I finally did start playing games, one of my first experiences was with the Alien Destroyer on the Spectrum, a home computer version of Space Invaders that filled bedrooms with sound, colour and high-score chasing. If you've ever found yourself enjoying the simple pleasures of sliding around at the bottom of the screen shooting lasers at encroaching baddies, striving for just one more wave and fighting for high scores, you may be interested in 1982, a throwback 2D shooting title that mixes up some classic shoot-'em-up games into one fairly impressive, addictive and free package for your PC. If I were making a list of best free-to-play games of the year, 1982 would be sitting pretty at the top about now, looking decidedly pleased with itself. But what makes 1982 so good? Simply put, the game is intensely fun and satisfying to play. What makes it so satisfying is difficult to pin down, otherwise all games would be doing it, but let's take a look. Firstly, there is a level of familiarity for players when they begin. Yeah, it's Space Invaders. Immediately, however, 1982 throws in some enemies that shake up what is allowed under the Space Invaders rule set. Oh, thinks the player. What's coming up next then? And what's coming up next is a constantly evolving suite of enemies who obey, well, they all obey recognisable patterns, allowing the player to build up a skill base and become better, but who could appear in different orders. Next up, there's the feedback for the player. Enemies melt under your cannon fire, giving the player a sensation of power, but they are numerous enough to remain a threat. Enemies are clear, chunky colours, which means quick glances around the screen allow you to assess coming threats quickly, and the steady stream of point indicators show you exactly when you're making progress through the point multipliers, or about to lose score through abduction of your ground crew, defender style. Special mention to the effect on your turret getting struck, which is so screen-shakingly chunky that you'll swear afterwards you are feeling your controller rumble through your mouse. Lastly, the pacing of 1982 also allows for the feeling of strategizing during your shooting that brings player experience to a new level. The developer decided to include 2 type power-up drops in the game. So upon shooting one of the numerous flying bonus flying saucer thingy bobbers, you'll get a bonus drop in the form of a coloured plus symbol. Allow the symbol to reach the ground, then pick it up and you get the benefit of one of 4 boosts. Double turret, shield, rockets, health regen. But take them out in the air and each power-up will respond with a different form of fire support, all useful in the correct circumstance. Thusly, the player must make selections on the fly, lay off the shooting, possibly jeopardising high score multipliers or even life, in order to make bigger gains afterwards. That sweet risk-reward mechanic really gives players a feeling of control. A couple of different game modes, online high scores and the opportunity to get your own music playing in the game, all serve to round out a package which, let's not forget, is completely free to play in the first place. Oh, and the whole game is 18 meg. Insane in 1982 perhaps, but nowadays there's no reason not to chuck 1982 into your download queue and give it a whirl. It was developed using something called the App Game Kit, which must be doing something right if you can make something as well crafted as this. Budding game developers might wish to check that out. Or not. You know, I'm not the boss of you, unless you work for me. In which case, stop messing around with game design and go and fetch me a coffee. Jesus, you just can't get the imaginary staff these days. Thanks ever so much for watching today's episode of Coffee Mornings with me, Carlos Morale. I trust very much that you have enjoyed today's video, and if you have, please don't hesitate to leave a like somewhere where you have found this video, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.